Thank you guys for bearing with us. Um, we were just going over this haiku. It says, hanging the lantern on that full white blooming bough, exquisite your care. Seems to be like he's very thankful. He or she is very thankful for the host, right? They seem
Mhm.
to have outdone themselves with a beautiful lantern on a blooming bow. Bow? You said it was bow?
I
Uh,
believe it's pronounced bow. Yeah.
yeah. And what was it?
Actually, yeah, it is. I use the Google definition. The definition is a main branch of a tree. So like just hanging it on a tree branch essentially, or
Oh,
like the
cool.
the more the main branch, so whatever the strongest branch
Yeah.
essentially.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I mean, yeah. Other than being thankful for the host, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know what else. I don't know what else there is in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, how's the weather over there in Huntington Beach, man?
Oh, it's actually there was like a day or two that it was really kind of like gloomy but still warm. But outside of that, it's been really nice. I've got it's not necessarily the beach, it's ocean water, but it's like I need to find the name of it. I can't find the name of it anywhere. They're just like little like waterways. I don't know, canal maybe. I don't know if it's supposed to be it's considered a canal, but they're like right next to where all the houses are. So there's little inlets for the public that they can go to, and so I've been going to those because there's no one there, absolutely
Yeah.
no one there. Um, and there's this one we went to a couple of days ago with the kids. We put them on kayaks, and there were kids kayaks, so we swam on the back of them. Because if I got on it, it would sink. So kids got on, I hanged on the back, and I was swimming. So I just used my legs to push them, and I felt something on my chest, and I thought it
Oh
was I
man.
thought I thought it was a paper bag or a plastic bag. But then I turned around and looked behind me, and it was a big old jellyfish.
Oh man. On your chest?
Yeah, but I always wear a shirt when I go to the beach because I get sunburned really bad. So the shirt
Uh-huh.
helps reduce the sunburn. And so it touched the shirt, and I said there was one other person who had come like after this all happened, and I said, "Oh, there's jellyfish out there, so be careful if you go in." And the lady said, "Oh yeah, we were here yesterday, and there were kids who were just picking them up, and I guess they're not really like." I said poisonous to someone, and they said that jellyfish aren't poisonous. It's like a burn. So I'm referring to it as a poison. So I guess these ones aren't poisonous. So
Huh.
either way, I got lucky.
Yeah. Dude, imagine?
Yeah.
Oh man.
But then yesterday, um, we went to this other. It's kind of the same concept, just a little waterway, but there's a bridge that goes over, and it's pretty high up. Like if you jump off of it, you have a second to where you're like, okay, I'm in the air, and then you have like another second or two where you're like, when am I gonna hit the water? And then
Yeah.
you finally hit it. So like it's a pretty good jump. It's a fun place to go to. So we were jumping
Where
off
was
of.
that one?
Is it right here down the street from my house? We could ride
Oh.
our bikes there if I wanted to.
It's not the same one where we took that picture from 2 podcasts ago, right? With Marcelo.
No, 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 no,
Remember
no.
that rock?
That's like right on the beach. This is inland. Like this is actually more inland than where I live technically.
Oh.
So it's really cool. I've been actually looking a lot into water things like shark fishing and just fishing in general, and it's so it's so crazy how much stuff is out there.
Yeah. There's certain types of fish that you can fish, and there's certain types that you can't fish around these areas, huh? Don't they have a
Yeah,
lot
that
of rules?
oh yeah, there's so many rules like beginner fishermen. I don't know how they do it and not get in trouble.
Yeah.
Because like the people I was watching, it started getting more and more intense. Like these people were going out to catch like giant sharks,
Mm-hmm.
and it was weird because I was like, okay, you're gonna catch a shark, you're gonna these guys caught like three sharks, and I was like, what are you gonna do with three sharks? And these people weren't doing it for a living. Like they just went out for the day. And I guess they just like to catch them, like pick them up on the side of the boat. They don't take them out of the water completely.
Mm-hmm.
Take a picture and then just release them.
So like sport.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. Like I wouldn't really go fishing that much to do like catch and release. Like if I went to go fishing, I would want to catch to eat or at least catch for someone else to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't eat fish, so like that's why I don't go fishing. I'm willing to fish if that other person is willing to eat.
Yeah, man. I remember. Let's where was it? Was it Kern River? A few years ago in Kern River. I went with family to just hang out there for the weekend, and the river actually carries some fish, and there are crawfish, and I spent the whole entire day fishing, hoping to get a fish so we can put it on the grill that night,
Hmm.
and I didn't catch anything.
Yep.
My wife went out there for 5 minutes. And she pulled up the line. There was a crawfish hanging out on the line. I
Yeah.
was so mad because it wasn't mine. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I
I,
love fishing, dude.
yeah. I've even watched because I had just recently bought a little. I guess it's considered like a raft, so we can take the kids out on the water. And I've been looking into like how to modify it to make it like more comfortable and last longer. And there's so much you can do. And like as I've been researching that, I've been seeing more and more stuff about the water and how people are catching like crabs and when you finally catch crabs, you have to measure them, make sure they're the right size. You're only allowed a certain amount per person.
Uh huh.
Like, like a lot of people go out on the water and then they end up in Mexico and you have to have like three different forms of like certifications. You have to have this like wristband, you have to have your fishing license, and you have to have your passport. And then on top of that, there's even more rules like how many of a certain fish each person can have.
Mm-hmm.
And man, there's so much that goes into it. It's crazy.
That's pretty crazy. But I guess we need it, right, for conservation.
Yeah, that's what it. I guess that's what it's for, so that we're not having too many fish being plucked, and that you can regulate how many people are farming and not farming.
Yeah, there's that pier at Newport Beach. You don't need a license to fish there. So I've been there a few times, and the same thing happened there. I went with family. I went with my father-in-law and his dad,
Hmm.
and yeah, I spent the whole day fishing. Nothing, not even a nibble, nothing. And my father's-in-law's dad, he, casted the line, and not 5 minutes later, man, he pulled up a stingray, which is
Yeah.
interesting. Um, yeah, but that one we didn't keep. We just threw it back. I mean, I don't even know if you can eat stingray
Uh, I think you can. I mean,
like soup.
it comes down to the same thing, like what different types of them are like edible and some because I mean stingrays aren't they're not like poisonous. It's not a poison that they give out. It's like an electric pulse, isn't it?
No, they have like a tail that below the tail they have like a almost like a not a sting but like a dagger,
Mm-hmm.
and they can, yeah, they'll penetrate skin. And that's how Steve Irwin died.
Yeah,
The crocodile.
he was essentially stabbed though.
Uh huh.
He didn't necessarily die of like
Yeah,
poison.
I don't know if they're poisonous or if it's poisonous to humans, but it's they do have a self defense mechanism under their tails.
Huh. It says in Malaysia and Singapore, stingray is commonly grilled over charcoal, then served with spicy sambala sauce or soy sauce. So it's just eaten just like a regular fish would be.
Huh.
Just fillet it and cook it.
I'd be interested in trying it.
I don't know. I have yet to see a fish that, or I guess smell a fish that's not been that initial just fishy smell.
But have you ever tried fish like the fish itself? Have you ever tried
Yeah,
fish?
I've tried fish a couple different ways before, and it's just like the only time I had raw salmon, and it wasn't that it tasted bad or tasted like fish, but it really just had no flavor. It was just like, what would it be? It'd be like chewing, like if you took a Starburst and you took one bite, just one bite, like you didn't keep chewing it, just you took one bite. That's what it felt like, and it had no flavor. So like it wasn't something I would ever get again, especially because it's costs more than most things. So like without flavor being there and without a great texture, like there was
I
nothing
feel like maybe
fun there.
was it at sushi or something?
It
I
was
feel
at the
like
place down by my parents' house. What's it called? I think you and I have been there before. Right next to right off the freeway on 17.
right off 17th
Yeah, by the
by your
Mimi's
parents.
Cafe and the gas station.
I
I
don't
don't know
think
that
I've ever
cross
been
street.
there.
I think it's called like Saki to Me or something like that.
Oh, maybe. I think that sounds kind of familiar. Um,
A lot of people go there. It's always super packed. So I assume the food is good. It's just
but
this one
you
didn't have anything on it. It was strictly just the salmon.
so it
Like
was like
there was
sashimi.
I don't know the names of it, but and then outside of that, like I've had it just like grilled with different seasonings, grilled with stuff with butter and garlic, or just butter and lemon, and it's all just the stuff that's cooked just has that fishy taste, and that's what's gross to me. So unless there's something out there that doesn't have that, it can have the texture of fish. The texture of fish is not doesn't disgust me. It's that fishiness of it.
What about
It's
do you eat shrimp?
you know, I don't think I've ever had. Oh wait, no, sorry. Yes, I've had shrimp. I don't like shrimp. No,
No.
no, I've never had lobster, but I don't like the way most people cook lobster, like the ingredients that people put into it. So trying it that way wouldn't be good to me.
Hmm. There I'm just wondering because if by the looks of it, you might have. I mean, that place Saki to me may not have been the best place to try this salmon. I've been to a couple different restaurants, all sushi restaurants, where you get salmon by itself or on top of a like a bed of rice. Dude,
Yeah.
it's buttery. It's like you can. It's almost buttery. The
See,
texture is smooth, buttery. It's just really really good. I mean, I love sushi.
like I'm not even into butter much. Like if you have butter that's like you can tell that there's butter there. Like when you cook a steak and you put butter on it, it kind of melts in and it goes away.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. But if I see like a butter on top of it, or it's like just soaking in butter, I don't like that.
Really?
Yeah, it's got
That's so
I don't know
odd.
what the taste is.
That's so odd, man.
Yep.
In fact, I put butter in my coffee today. It's so
Yes,
good.
the
I
butter
love it.
always sits on the top, and it I don't know, it gets like on the lips and kind of stays on there, and I can't.
Oh, that's my
I
favorite
don't like
part,
that.
man.
But get some ice cream, man. That creaminess of ice cream. Woo.
On the coffee?
Coffee on anything, dude.
Damn, dude.
Did
Yeah, I
you do
mean,
anything exciting this week?
this week, like, have I been doing anything?
Yeah, did you?
Just for the most part, I've been just working on a proposal for a new company. Um, just I've been running. I didn't want to run yesterday. I didn't want to
Hmm.
run yesterday at all, man. And like at 7 p.m., there was still a little bit of light out. I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna use that light and just go and take the dog. And we ended up running six. Oddly enough, it was 6.66 miles, which
Ugh.
was which was weird. I looked at that number. I'm like, dude, I should do more steps.
Keep going one more mile.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun, man. I felt good. I I still have a lot to I have a lot of work to do before I'm ready for the marathon that you're gonna be doing as well, right? Even if you
Well,
even if
yeah,
you
no,
crawl
I
it,
think I
man.
could complete one.
Even
I
if you
think I could
crawl
complete
it,
one
it
when it comes
doesn't
down. I just would be slow.
it doesn't matter. As long
Yeah.
as I don't care if you walk the whole way. Like it'll be a good experience.
Yeah.
Have you ever done one?
Not like no. I did it. I did one in like 2 days.
A marathon in 2 days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did like half on one day, half the next.
Oh, okay. I don't think it's that bad, man. It's the initial steps. Just I think the hardest part is putting on the shoes and just getting outside. For me, it
Yeah.
was it was like oh like it's it was a little cloudy these past couple of days, so my initial thought was oh it's gonna rain. I should probably won't don't do it, and it cleared up. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe I'll hit up the trail today. Um, it's something I noticed something interesting yesterday, man. You know how we were talking over the phone a couple days ago? We
Uh
were
huh.
talking about how there are now a new like the suggestion now is that we're gonna be in lockdown for 3 more months, or at least LA County.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm like, dude, what's gonna happen? What are all these people gonna do? And since we're in Orange County here, people don't really seem to be all too worried about the virus or um yeah, I don't think they want to be quarantined any longer. And I saw how people were yesterday. I went to the park. There were tons of people out there not wearing masks. There were kids, sledding on the grass hill. There were people running, people walking. Everybody had the dog out. Everybody was out, and it kind of felt good, man. They even opened up the 1,000 steps, like the steps,
Yeah.
and yeah, people were getting a workout in, and I've never ever seen that many people outside of the gym working out in one place.
Yeah.
You know, there were a couple families like having like picnics. Like it was a cool sight, man. I kind of missed that. It was fun, even though it's still a little. I mean, I'm not really scared, but for other people, I would assume that they're still thinking about it, and the thought of the virus is still lingering in their mind. It was really cool to see family just enjoying themselves, um, people working out. I had broken a sweat. You know how you get that the air stuck in the side of your chest.
Yeah.
I had that. I got that, and then once I stopped, I'm like, dude, what am I doing? Let me just keep going, and I just worked through it, and then I forgot about it, and it was fun, man. It was really cool. I loved it, and I think I can speak on behalf of most people in Orange County. It's like we're ready. We're ready to go back to normal. We're ready to go back to work and you know go to a venue over the weekend, maybe see a concert. I feel like people really miss that.
It's actually really interesting to hear about people who are thinking about leaving the different states who are staying locked down to just move somewhere else to get out of it.
Yeah. Have
Cause
you
like
you've talked to some people like that?
I've heard it a few times. Cause like what um was it Georgia is open, Texas is open. There's a couple smaller states that are open,
I
and
think
it's like,
Missouri and Florida are open.
yeah, it's like why stay here where it's already expensive? Like it just gives more incentive to get out. Like things are gonna be cheap right now. Like it's gonna be easy in a sense. There's gonna be no traffic. You'll be able to get everywhere quicker.
Oh yeah,
Like
man. But what?
it's
Yeah,
time for
what
something
keeps
new.
people here? Let's talk about that right now. What keeps people here in California? The weather, the I would say opportunity is one is a big one for small businesses. Then there's a lot of competition, but if you play your cards right, there's space. Like there's so many people in California that there's a lot of opportunity here. Yes, it's expensive, but you if you're a business, you'll adjust to the market. You're not going to be I mean, I've seen small restaurants in Westminster. They charge you $8 for a bowl of pho.
Mhm.
$8. And you know, you go to a fast food restaurant, you can't get anything under $10 unless you're on the dollar menu. But let's be real, like you're gonna get a meal, you know? Once you get the meal, it's more than $10. So how is this small little business in Westminster able to survive in California? You know? So
Yeah.
if they can do it, I mean, come on. Anybody can do it. And then yeah, the weather, I mean, what? Last month we had 3 weeks that it was on off rain. But
Yeah.
besides that, it's beautiful out. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
well,
when it comes, I don't know. When it comes down to non-financial, it's a great place to be. When it comes to financial, it's a terrible place to be.
for some, I'd agree. I mean, I think there's a lot of people out there making a lot of money, man.
Like if you don't like the beach, like if you don't ever utilize the beach, there's not much of a reason to live here. Everything we
But wouldn't
have,
you
you
say
can get
we
somewhere
have
else.
everything? Like we're only a drive away from seeing snow. We're a
Yeah.
drive away from, going to the desert. We have we even have casinos in California. We have a lot of entertainment. Um, the beach is one. I mean, not that I use most of those things on a regular basis,
Yeah.
but it's something that I've been thinking about during this quarantine. Is just I just want to be out more. Like I want to take the dog out to the dog beach.
Hmm.
Just let her play around for a little bit. Um, I love the trails that we have here. We have beautiful trails. We have a lot of public parks. The
Yeah.
square mile, which is something. Maybe we should do that one, man.
Do what?
We should go and run that just the 4 miles. Just go around the park.
You talking about mile square?
Yeah.
Isn't
Just
that the whole square is a mile?
no. It's a mile everywhere. Every
Each side's a mile?
uh-huh. It's 4 miles.
Are you sure about that?
I'm like 100%.
Huh. I thought the whole thing was a mile.
No. I think it's a mile across.
I
But if
mean, it's not
you
too far from my house either.
so it's I think that would be a good place to go, man. I mean,
Yeah.
and right now, I mean, have you heard anything in regards to Orange County and the quarantine and the lockdown? Most retail places
Mm.
have opened up, no?
I mean, tomorrow's the date that was said. I know, like, quite a few restaurants that were closed are starting to reopen for the to-go stuff. But, and I mean, most of that, they're also, I don't know if it's most restaurants, but the restaurant that I was a part of, um, they they're staying open from 11 to 6, and the reasoning behind that is um, that I guess for the virus to like die, like it takes um
15
12
days?
12 hours or something.
For what?
For it's something I don't know. I was explaining something about for it to die, like for you to let's see, how do you explain it? It the process of it. I guess that doesn't make sense. I don't know why I was thinking that. Because they said the reasoning for the reduced hours is because a 12-hour period it gives time for the virus to die or settle down.
You mean in on surfaces?
Yeah.
I
So
thought it
therefore, by having reduced hours, the like restaurants would have less cases because of that. But no, yeah, it said that it would stay on services for like
like
two
14
weeks or
days,
something.
no? Yeah.
Yeah. But see,
Yeah, I don't
if
know if that
you're
makes sense.
allowing it to settle essentially and settle on services and you just make sure people aren't touching services, then
And then you have your
then it
employees
would start dying.
sanitizing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly,
But
I think it's just to give people a sense of safety.
yeah.
I don't think it makes much sense. But and it's one of the things that I've been thinking about this. It's our President Trump is I'm sure deep down he just wants to open things up. He wants the economy back, especially this year. With the election and all coming November.
Yeah.
Um, but I was thinking about like if he just let's just assume that he opened everything up, people would be really upset at him. You know, even if it's not a big deal as it's been made out to be. For some, I mean, I know for some have been really affected by it, but for the most part, if you compare it to other diseases, it's not that bad, right? And so I feel like if he were to open things up, people would be really upset at him. The media would just go after him. Um, so I think maybe these steps to open things up in a very cautious manner is the reason why we're doing that in the first place.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a good idea to give people a sense of safety. You know,
Yeah. It,
I honestly I don't think people care all that much, man. Over the weekend, not the weekend, Tuesday must have been Tuesday, a couple days ago. I went out for a cruise with the family member. We just drove. We went to go grab some tacos. When we went to the taco place, people were eating like normal outside, no masks, right? I mean, obviously you can't eat with the mask on, but they were on the benches, on the tables, just eating. Nobody really seemed to care.
yeah.
Like I think it's dying down more than people make it out to seem, or make it seem like.
Yeah.
Um,
It's because you still have to. It's just like with me. I don't care going down to the beach. I mean, if someone's gonna come over to the house, I'm still gonna do what I did before. I don't sit in people's face. I mean, I might like. I mean, I don't
you
give
don't do that
hugs, but I'll
anymore.
usually like I may shake my hand or like give them a fist bump or like do the whole like slap thing. But like
Slap thing,
I never got
dude.
close to people. I didn't hug people. Like the only people I hug is usually because they like put the hug forward. So like I always distance myself from people anyway. So I don't
You're the
I don't know.
classic introvert, man.
Yeah, and I mean I think that's what it comes down to now. Is just it's your own cleanliness.
Yeah. Are you are how are you doing? Like, are you ready to go back to normal? Do
I
you
mean,
think it's
don't
gonna
get me
go back to
wrong.
normal?
Don't get me wrong. Like I'm on unemployment, and it's nice to not have to work and to get money. I understand it's not feasible and it makes no sense. Like you can't keep this up forever. It'd be nice to not have to work again and be able to to afford the same things that I was affording before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's not like I'd be excited, woohoo, to go back to a restaurant and work again. Like it paid the bills, and I think a lot of people are the same way.
Right.
Like the people who want to go back to work are the people who were building something, who had a chance or who had a business that was succeeding.
Yeah.
So I think I could probably say it's like 50-50 in the sense of people wanting to go back to work. Like I think a lot of people don't want to go back to work, not because they're scared of the sickness, but because why go back to work? I'm making just as much money now and not having to work.
Yeah, but that's only some people. Like I know quite a few people that applied for unemployment that never got it.
Yeah,
And the business that they were in or their industry was really affected. We talked about it last week where we were discussing how restaurants went from 100% staff to like 10% staff just for takeout.
yeah,
And so like all there's so many people out there, and it's crazy, man, because mm, I would say that most people don't really think about the effects of the virus and the lingering effects that we're going to continue to have, for the next couple of years.
yeah,
When we talk about the hospitality and the service industry, it's not just hotels, or no, no, no. Let me phrase it this way: it's not just restaurants and entertainment venues in LA that are being affected. Also, the cleaning vendors, the cleaning companies that provided all the sanitary supplies to these restaurants are being affected. And now,
yeah,
because you don't have any entertainment venues, like for instance, you don't have in Anaheim, you have Disneyland, right? Well,
hmm,
Disneyland's closed. The reason why Anaheim is so wealthy is Disney. It's
yeah,
Disneyland's there. There are so many hotels around there that are going to be affected and are being affected. You know, like
yeah. And because Disneyland's not opening till next year, the most of those places aren't going to get much business, and
no.
there's going to be less conventions. So outside of those two things,
Oh, and then
no
like
reason to be there.
talk about conventions, right? Las Vegas, their biggest moneymaker are conventions.
Yeah, I actually haven't heard anything about Vegas through this whole thing.
I think they
Like,
closed down for a month and then they were trying to reopen. I'm not sure where they are now, but
yeah, I
it's
don't
going to
know.
be really interesting to see what are the effects. What's going to be the ripple effect? What's going to happen 2 to 3 years from now?
Yeah.
It's also scary, you know.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be, it's gonna. I think it'll bounce back, but it's not gonna be necessarily the same people who are bouncing back. Like, we still want entertainment. We still want places to go out to eat. We still want products. Like, just because let's put it in an example of two big things. Just because we really use Amazon and we really like Apple and we really like Samsung, if they so happen to be in the debt right now and have to go out of business, someone's going to retake their place. Sure, it sucks. Those companies may be out, but something's going to replace it.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's going to dead stop. And if it does, then you adjust to it however that is. Like, I mean, I was in the grocery store waiting in line, and I started looking around, and I was looking, and I saw the gift card rack, and I look at it, and I keep looking at it. I'm like, why do I keep looking at this? It's all that is if gift cards. I give money to get money credit at one place.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is such a stupid concept. Like, it's
But it
so
works.
gluttonous. It's
But it
ridiculous.
Yeah, but it works. And the thing about it is that it's a physical thing. It's not just like, hey, Greg, for your birthday, here are, 50 bucks. Go spend them at wherever you want. Yeah, you can give cash, but if you give like a little card, you feel like you received something.
That's because that's what you think about when you think about those cards is, "Oh, I put thought into choosing Outback Steakhouse instead of just giving them $50."
Exactly.
Like, why didn't you just use the $50 to buy them some Omaha steaks,
Yeah.
you know? It really has it's a essentially, it's a lazy gift
Exactly. It's
that has been
laziness.
marketed to say, "Oh, you're being thoughtful," and
Yeah.
we use it, and it's gluttonous. It's crazy. Like we don't see it anymore.
Yeah, but let when you were 17, 16, when somebody gave you a Steam gift card, weren't you
Mhm.
like ecstatic?
I mean, yeah, because I probably asked for that specifically. Because if I asked for money, I mean, I still would have turned around and used it for the same thing, so I would have been just as excited. So I don't like. I don't know. It
but
really
there's
was the
something,
advertisement that
yeah,
got us.
there's something there, huh? But
Yeah.
you're right, man. There's a lot of laziness to it, a lot of it. Um, but I mean, it's easy. I mean, sometimes you don't know what the hell to get this person.
Yeah.
That's also part of the reason. Um, like for you, like it would for me, giving to you would be more like clothing. I think that's what I've always given you for birthdays or Christmas or whatever. Because money is like also a lazy way
I mean,
to say.
sometimes you have to do money. Like I'd probably say if you gave me money, I would never think about it because I'm hard to shop for. Like I don't have many interests. Most of my interests are expensive things that you usually buy for yourself. And most of the time, I don't know, I have everything I really need.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know.
You sure
I
you don't need a Gucci merce?
no, see that's
Over the
just
shoulder
ridiculous.
merce?
Like spending $300 on a Gucci t-shirt and then you have to worry every day about what you do because you don't want to get a stain on the shirt. Like, come on, man. Like I freak out when I buy a 5 pack of shirts for 20 bucks. I'm like, God damn, dude, I'm spending 20 bucks on 5 shirts. These shirts better last me 3 years.
Dude, I haven't bought any clothing and since this whole thing happened.
I know that's why I actually think a lot of the retail stores, like let's say like Kohl's and stuff like that, they may actually bounce back pretty well. I think their sales are going to skyrocket when people are allowed back in
Yeah.
because
Yeah, man,
people
I've been
haven't been people. I mean, you could use Amazon, but I don't know how many people actually like purchasing clothes on Amazon because like you can't
I
try
never
it on.
really exactly. I never really thought about it because I have I mean, I'm sure you have the same issue, but shopping for jeans online for me it's like a waste of time.
Yeah, there's
I'm
only
like I
one
feel
place
like
I
I'm
go
going to
for
wait
jeans.
10 days to get these damn jeans and then I'm going to try them on and then they ain't going to fit. So I'm
Yep.
to send them back and that's like a whole month just to get jeans.
It's like 2
Um
things you have to get, like, at stores is jeans, shoes, and I'd say underwear, but I mean, once you know your size, and they're all pretty much the same. You can buy that online. But yeah, shoes and pants for sure, man. You
yeah, cuz
have to
the
try them
the
on.
the shoes are the all the brands have different sizing.
Yeah, like,
Like
I
Converse, I'm
think it's
like
like Vans, I'm always, like, at least half a size bigger than all other types of shoes.
uh-huh. And
Yeah,
Converse, yeah, Converse is yeah, I don't
yeah.
know. I think you're right. I think we're going to bounce back. Just I wonder how long it's going to take. Um
Especially with a lot of the money that's being thrown out, man. Like, there's supposed to be another stimulus coming.
I
Like,
don't necessarily think that Trump will approve it
yeah,
because what okay, if I'm a business owner, I don't want just money. I don't want just the money that you're going to loan me that I still have to pay back. I want to make money so I can reinvest it into the business.
Mhm.
So, and then all these people, they're like, "Oh yeah, I can take another month off. I don't want to work and collect this um what is it called? The financial what is it called?
Are
The
you talking about unemployment?
disaster the
Oh, this is
disaster financial
D
relief program. I don't know what it's called.
DUA, I believe. I
Um,
don't know the acronym.
yeah, we're gonna have to pay this back in taxes.
I mean, over time they'll increase taxes that they've decreased, and they'll get the money. But I mean, they can't overtax as well, because then they just turn around and start what they were trying to prevent.
Yeah,
So it's just the checks
and
and balances of it.
um,
Like,
also, Elon Musk had a good point the other day. He said, in order for the economy to keep rising or get better, you need people to buy stuff. But if the businesses aren't making stuff, then how are people going to buy it? So
yeah,
even though people are getting more money, if businesses don't recover, you're not going to be able to spend money the same way you were spending it before. And not that you should, but there are certain things like if we want to be more innovative and if we want to get back onto being like the number one producer in the world, we need to innovate. We need to, technological advances. And it's not going to happen if people aren't buying Teslas. It's not going to happen if people aren't buying new phones. It's not going to happen if we're not creating new products for people.
yeah,
So, yeah, we need to focus on getting the economy back up and running as safely as possible, but we need to focus on getting it back up and running. And while you're here waiting for the economy, just small support or support small businesses. Help small businesses. Order takeout from that Chinese restaurant that you've always looked at that you've never been to, you know?
yeah,
Go buy a shelf from South South Designs Company from our friend Gabe. He has some cool um, tree bookshelves that would look wonderful in any of your rooms. You know, help those people. Help the people that are hustling to make a penny. Because in the end, they're the people that we rely on. In the American economy, it's the small businesses. All these big tech companies, all they do is they hoard money.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, you want to get into some current events? What's going on with in the world right now?
I mean,
I heard that
lots.
what was it? Did you hear about the uh okay, so I follow Trump on Instagram just because I like to laugh sometimes of how ridiculous it is. And it makes me
Uh-huh.
feel like we live in a movie or in the simulation. And I saw a post, it was a meme of himself, you know, going like this, placing his chin on his knuckle and
Uh-huh.
saying, "You investigated me. Now it's my turn to investigate you."
Yeah,
Hashtag Obamagate.
yeah.
So I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen with this. Was there a
Mhm.
coup? Was there a conspiracy? There's a bunch of people that were named, a lot of high profile people, including Joe Biden, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Um, ha- uh, have you seen any new developments with that lately?
No.
No.
Mm-mm. But I don't know if you've seen, but they're sending astronauts to space in a few days.
To for where?
I
Like
don't
the
know where they're
moon
going
or
exactly.
just to the space station?
No, it's Elon's sending people up.
Oh no, wait, this
The
is
27th, right?
I don't know.
It's in like 2 weeks.
I have no idea, but that'd be cool. That'd be a cool thing to take a look,
I saw this one
check it
other
out.
thing in world news that Mexico found 15,000 turtles in crates that were bound for China.
What?
Yeah,
Mexico? Do you
yeah.
have the article?
There's no. Oh, here it is. Like who? Like what do you need 15,000 turtles for? I mean, I guess they probably eat turtles over there. There's
Can
turtle soup.
can you read it? What does it say?
Yeah. Mexican authorities said Tuesday they have seized a shipment of 158 wooden crates bound for China, containing about 15,000 freshwater turtles, some of them endangered. The Environment Prosecutor's Office said the crates were found at a freight facility on the outskirts of Mexico City. The turtles,
Whoa.
the turtles included white-lipped mud turtles, Mexican giant musk turtles, narrow-bridged musk turtles, and the common red-eared slider. About 260 of the creatures had died in the crates.
Damn,
In-
that's crazy.
Interesting. They weren't properly marked, nor did the shipment's paperwork accurately reflect the species of turtles involved. The
Oh
trade in other
man.
kinds of wildlife has been implicated in the transmission of threats like the novel coronavirus to humans.
Damn, that's so crazy. Imagine having 15,000 turtles. Like, where do you even get that many turtles?
Right? At first, one, essentially they said it was illegal. Two, they said they were being taken care of. And three, yeah, where do you have space for 15,000 turtles? Where do you find 15,000 turtles? And how do you keep that secret? And how are you going to take it from Mexico to China? Like, it's crazy the things that are out
Damn,
there.
that's so crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, how much do turtles cost? Like, let's say you want to buy a turtle
I think those
to
were
eat.
to be eaten.
Yeah, like how
Um,
much would it cost in China for one of those?
I mean, even those, like, it sounded like they were sending like specialty turtles. So an export or an imported turtle, I would assume would cost pretty penny.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be like a hamburger at McDonald's? But have you seen them do turtle soup before? They
No,
just like,
no, no, I've never seen that.
they just like leave it in the shell. Like, look, do you have the screen up?
No, not yet. Hang on one sec. It's showing that we're not receiving enough video
Oh.
to maintain the stream.
Okay.
So I
Well, they
I
just
wonder if it's hmm.
they just leave the turtle in the shell and I would assume like boil it, but it's in this like soup broth and then they just start biting the turtle that's hanging out the shell. I
That's
don't
so crazy.
I don't know. It's like I wouldn't cook a whole cow and just start gnawing on it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some people who do that. Like my dad will eat pig feet. Like I wouldn't do that.
Pig feet, they're actually pretty good. It's done in a certain way. Um, yeah, only done in a certain way. I think
Yeah.
you pickle them. I've had them. I've had them. You know, being
Huh.
Mexican and all, you pickle them and then they're supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah. I just saw this other world news. It says that Japan's suicide rate has declined since COVID-19 lockdown because it's caused a shift in the stress factors of life.
Which was work
Yeah,
and
whatever, work,
status,
school, yeah,
work,
status, all that.
status, school, traffic.
Yeah, the
Oh
craziness of
man.
life. Like, imagine being in New York every day and having to wake up to constant advertisement all around you and being bombarded by so many people walking around you and so much noise to staying inside. Like, I mean, I think it could help a lot of people, and then I think it could also hurt a lot of people.
Yeah,
So
that's right, man.
it's always interesting to see things like that.
I wonder what's been going on here in Orange County. I haven't really seen much. The one thing that I've noticed is, when I have to get out of here and I have to go to work or I have to go run some errands or go to the grocery store, whatever, I see more people speeding. Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
I even saw a, um, what is it called? Those yellow signs that they're out there, the digital signs out there on the freeways.
like the ones that say like don't DUI or get
Yeah,
fined, stuff
yeah.
like that. Huh.
Yeah, they had something that had to do with, if you must travel, please don't speed. Apparently,
Yeah.
most people have been doing it, so
Yeah, I guess they've been giving out more tickets on PCH than they normally do because there's more people out there thinking that they can just
just do whatever they want.
go crazy on the straightaways. I can hear it all the time. You hear super loud cars going down the street all the time over here because we're right here at one of the inlets to PCH. So you always get those muscle cars like,
But boy, is it fun to just just step on the throttle. Oh man, I went cruising Tuesday, man. It was really fun.
yeah.
I missed it. I missed the just. It wasn't like the open road or whatever, but it was close.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. What else? What else is on the news?
Most of it's kind of the same old, just being repeated in different ways. Um, oh, this is interesting. It says cruise ship bookings jump 600% as as Carnival reveals plans to resume trips in August.
So, people are. That's interesting.
Do you know why people are booking them though?
Oh, because it's really cheap.
Yeah, they're not necessarily planning on going, but it's like $100 for the whole trip.
So basically, they're betting on red. Like, if things go back to normal, and I'm able to go on this trip, I'm gonna save a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. I mean, it's a good way. It's a good way to jumpstart the travel industry. Which, I mean, gosh, man, you have no idea
I mean
how
the
bad the travel industry has been affected.
mhm.
Um, yeah, hospitality,
the
hotels,
yeah.
airlines. I mean, it's like five different industries, maybe more.
Yeah, the first comment here actually it says, really, people are willing to step onto cruise ships if they need rescuing and flights home again. They need to pay for it themselves, not ask for tax dollars to foot the bill. I mean,
That person doesn't
it kind
seem
of,
to. That person doesn't seem to get out much though.
I mean, it does kind of make sense. Like, but at the same time, the cruise ships aren't going to be able to go unless there are precautions. You know?
Hmm. Yeah, and I wonder if it's gonna be like every other cabin is booked. If you're still gonna have social, I'm
That's
really
the
interested in seeing how the social distancing will play out in the next within this whole year, in the next year,
yeah.
especially around the holidays.
Yeah, it's the
You
only
know.
thing that I saw about Vegas. I didn't see anything about opening dates or if it's currently open or anything like that. But the only thing I could find is that when they do reopen, that they're only going to be doing 25% of their accommodations. So like they're only going to do rooms for 25% of the rooms they have, which is crazy. That doesn't mean every other room. That's every fourth room they would use.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what that means? That means whoever is willing to pay the most is who's going to get a room. Because would they rather rent out their pent suites or would they rent out their cheaper suites? You know what I mean? If they can only open up for 25%, they're going to open up for the most money they can get.
Yeah, I think it's like a soft opening. I think they're gonna try it out,
Yeah.
and then eventually they're gonna be like, you know what? It's been a month. Nobody's been infected. Let's just open things up.
One of the other things that I didn't find it right now for the world news, but um, Ramen Noodles, they closed down one of their factories, so we're not going to be seeing chicken ramen noodles anytime soon.
Maruchan? Yeah, the
Yeah,
Maruchans. Really?
yeah, yeah. So you're
Oh,
gonna be stuck with like the chili flavored and the soy sauce flavored. Dude, I just saw one the other day, a pork flavor. I have never seen a pork flavor before.
dude, Maruchan has like 10 different flavors. There's chicken. There's the chili, the lime
Dude,
chili.
the lime chili one, if you throw in some pepper jack cheese and just like some chicken and peppers and onions, that is so good. Oof.
I haven't tried it, dude. I haven't had ramen noodle in. I couldn't even tell you how long I haven't had ramen noodle.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. Yeah.
I mean, it's sad, but it's good at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep.
If do you want to keep reading, maybe a couple more articles, I'm gonna take a leak break really quick,
How
but I
about
wanted to.
you read the excerpt, and we can do more of this next time.
Yeah, I mean we can end it here.
Yeah.
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 So to end today's stream, we're gonna read a little bit on the book or from the book of Buddha. Where are we at? Okay, here we go. Well, first of all, thank you guys for joining us during this crisis that we're all going through. If you're listening, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Greg and I will try to be back in person as soon as we're able to, so we can have more of a interactive podcast. But meanwhile, you can join us here at everywhere at Thought Process Podcast. We're also on ThinkSpot, and if you don't already know what ThinkSpot is, it's a website that Dr. Jordan Peterson launched, where ideas are shared and discussed. It's in the beta. It's in the beta. What is it called? The beta trial.
Just beta stages.
Yeah, the beta stage. But they already have a lot of content. There's a lot of podcasts on there, including Jocko Willink and all these people. We are also contributing our videos and our most important conversations that we've had. So feel free to follow us there. Instagram at Thought Process Podcast, Twitter at Podcast TTP. That's Twitter Podcast TTP. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment. Give us some feedback. We've been working with what we got. We're planning on making this a little better for everybody in terms of the quality, but we can't do that if you don't give us feedback on the content. Because if you don't like the content, then there's no point on upgrading things. So leave a comment, ask some questions. Feel free to interact with us on social media. And with that, we'll see you guys next week. Okay. Heart of a Buddha. Perfect wisdom, perfect tranquility, perfect compassion arise from our love, our sincerity, our understanding. And with that, we'll see you guys next week. I'll talk to you later, Greg.
Have a good one, Marco.